Hey, Merry New Year, 2024. Dr. Prodigal coming with you. I realized that for the last few months, I haven't really done a lot. People think that, okay, you have a YouTube channel, every 5 minutes you have to be put in something. No, when you are you're waiting for the inspiration of God to come, you're really waiting for the message that God wishes for you to portray, not something that you just thought up. So if God's not speaking, I'm not speaking. But what he was doing, he was dealing with me. Since about September, I've had sister transition to heaven, had another aunt transition from this life. Other friends have transitioned. That there's something that's going on. And then during that time also, I was hit with an illness that was very peculiar according to medical science. And they thought one thing, and no, that's not me. No, it's not. And they couldn't believe it. So lately I've been, and I'll be very blunt with it, I've been experiencing a lot of racial things that have been happening. And I'm choosing my words wisely. I have to remember sometimes that this world is still this world. And I still have to remember that there are times when people are going to act on their own biases. The Bible was very clear and said, darkness upon the land and deep darkness upon the people. Yes, and I'm saying that. And one of the things that, the enemy is using toward us is arguing over doctrine. We want to argue over doctrine on things. We want to argue over whether this is right or that is right. So this time I'm speaking after Christmas, after New Year's, but I'm speaking about Christmas. Last year, I watched so many pastors. Oh my gosh. I'm really sick of social media, TikTok, and all these things that people can just put out some stupid, idiotic stuff and not realizing that James 3rd chapter speaks specifically that if you want to be a teacher, you're going to receive a greater damnation. So run tell that. Are you ready for that? I don't think so. But people will put out things of their own, and this is the importance of having a pastor and a circle of wise counsel. Because some things, even though it sounds good and it was said before, it's not necessarily true. I'll give an example. I've had many people say that Christmas is a pagan holiday. I'm not even going to get into it. There are holidays around certain times of the year. Okay, so if you say it's a pagan holiday, you like it, I love it. That's not my issue. Because personally, I don't necessarily embrace it as something holy day. I embrace it as a time when people choose to celebrate the birth of Christ, even though I don't believe that the birth of Christ, and according to the Bible, was in the month of December. It was more or less September, October or so. It wasn't in December, but let people tell it. And, there's so much there. And I would like to just go down on things that I've discovered about Christmas. It doesn't take away from it. It's just that if we get it right, it's more beautiful. Yes, even the celebration of Christ's birth. No, the 3 wise men wasn't there and everybody was hanging out the manger. Let's look at these things. Let's look at this. Now, it was a few people. They wanted to come as Santa Claus. You wanted to come as Santa Claus, and it's not about him, it's about Christ. And that's, Romans 12 chapter tells us that, we should have our minds renewed. Romans 14 chapter tells us that other people may choose to celebrate things that we don't, or look at something to be holier than we are. Both tell us that we need to mind our own business. So the ones that wanted to speak on Santa Claus, even though it was considered, that's Roman Catholic, you're doing nothing but stirring up a bunch of mess. If that's what the people want to believe, then that's what they want to believe. That's not it. Look at the aspect of it. If God wants, if God can change, I heard Pastor Bill Winston say, yeah, he'll put a Christmas tree in his house. He'll put it in there and he'll change the colors on it, put bulbs on and things because God does it in nature. And I had to laugh because while I'm not, one that I have to have it, yes, we put up Christmas trees and things. He's right. God changes the leaves into all the different colors. Well, now here we are with the Santa Claus situation. And anybody look at them, you're not Christian, you're not this. Well, let me ask you something. My brother pastors, plural. Do you celebrate your birthday right on the birthday every year? No, you don't. Okay. Does somebody else share your birthday? And do you get mad? Yes. I mean, you shouldn't get mad. Well, this situation of you wanting to attack Santa, I agree with you. I don't see where the reindeer and the North Pole and all that has anything to do with Jesus Christ. I agree with you. But these same pastors are the ones that I see. You want to celebrate Easter? We want to talk Easter Bunny? Okay. We want to talk Easter egg? Okay. Where's all that coming from? So, if I hear you attack Santa Claus, I need for you to attack the mirror, because if you're overweight and you see yourself in there, it's an issue. As a matter of fact, what I need for you to do, instead of looking at everything else that you feel is wrong, Santa, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and everything else, I need for us to start looking in the mirror and seeing what we need to make right. Because see, I'm about tired of many of the pastors that are coming at people all about the sin that's out the window, but you're never dealing with the sin in the mirror. So before you attack everything for Christmas and you want to tear it down and you need something to preach about, so you're going to attack Santa Claus, how about you attack that manger scene with the three wise men sitting there? And if you're Latino, how about you deal with the Three Kings Day? And how that was no way it was going to be after the December 25th, 2 weeks after December 25th, so 1 week. How about you attack that? How about you tell the truth about the three kings? How about you tell the truth about Jesus Christ, that he wasn't in a manger when the three kings came to him? He was standing in the door of his house, according to the Gospels. How about you attack that? Instead of attacking all these things, wanting to put somebody down, how about come together and just embrace it? Peace on earth, goodwill to all men. Emmanuel, he's dwelling with us. How about doing that? Or do you have to be right, and the only way you can be right is with a religious pharisaical stance, so you can make yourself right and make others wrong? And is this the time? Is this the time for love to come about? So how about this year, 2024, we endeavor to keep those commandments that God has said. Love him with all your heart, soul, mind, body, everything. And love your neighbor as yourself. And instead of 2 commandments, it's really 3. You're loving God with everything, and then you have to love yourself, and you love your neighbor like yourself. So again, you're the one in the middle that's going to bring it all together. You're going to love God this end, and that neighbor over there, you're loving him here, and the God that dwells in you will love everybody else. How about smiling at people? How about embracing people? 2024 is a year that may be hard. I heard my pastor say, and it just burned all through my spirit, this year, your loyalty is going to be tested. And not necessarily just to the church. So let's get ready for what God has for us, and let's rejoice and move on. I often look at things in numbers in the year 2024. Well, I can do 20. 20 is 2 times 10. 2 is the number of witness, and 10 is the number of order. So 20 is also the number of maturity. So then here we got 24, 2 times 12. Witness times government. 12 is the number of government. There we are again. So here we are, 24. We get it all together, and You see how all of this adds up. God can speak through it. People say, oh, numerology. Sometimes God does speak through numbers. Listen to what he says. When he says on the seventh day he rested and things of that nature, there's a reason why he picks certain numbers. But now that we're here, how about this year we batten down, embrace God much more, and we just hold on to him? God bless you. It's Dr. Prodigal. I'm not sure which way God is directing me this year. There's a situation that I'm in prayer about, but until I have full assurance that this is where God wants me to go and what he wants me to do, I won't do it. Is it a nice position? Yeah, it will be something. It will be open up doors down there. But I need to know that this one step, the Lord wants me to do it. Otherwise, I won't do it, because that one step could cause not only me to fall, but many, many, many other people. Many, many, many other people. God bless you, Dr. Prodigal. I'll be back later on some other things.